Okay, guys, so we'll get underway sharpish with New Zealand's even match briefing. So to my left, Cody Taylor, who's playing 2. To his left, Greg Feek, scrum coach. And to his left, Ofa Tungafasi, who's wearing the number 1 jersey. So if we could take the first question here in the middle, please.
Greg, I feel like this week there's been lots of chat about the competitiveness within the team. I mean, can you just give a sense of how eager some of these boys are to get some game time under their belt?
Yeah, so we do, at trainings, we do, at the end, we do some skill blocks, and the boys do some work-ons that they feel like they need to improve on, and in that, there's even the focus, the intensity in some of those drills shows the fact that they are really trying to get that little bit extra to prove themselves, you know. And the good thing about that is we've got that competitiveness, but I've also got those guys that are competing for spots, actually helping each other do it, you know. And I think that's where, you know, in all the teams I've been in, when you see the boys working together like that, wanting each other to get better, you know, proves a good sort of, I suppose, where we sit with everything. So that gets me excited, the boys get excited, and we know that whoever gets the jersey is going to do the business.
Ian Foster says that you've got to have that balance between paying attention to this week but also having an eye towards the future. I mean, what are you looking for this week that will give you what you need in terms to feel good about the future?
I suppose from last week, the standard that we set around a number of our areas, keeping some continuity with that is first and foremost, and that in itself will give the boys confidence. It will cement a few things so that we can get some real rhythm going.
Hey Cody. Ian spoke yesterday about the importance of cultivating an edge. He talked about how sometimes that comes from the opposition, sometimes that's situational. You know, when you play a team, you're expected to win. How do you go about trying to cultivate the same edge, you know, as like the opening game against France or something like that?
I think a lot of the language we've used this week is around individual preparation and mindset, getting yourself right. I think, you know, you're not wrong in saying that when you're playing, I suppose, proposed big games, there's a bit of edge straight away because of how tough they are. But in saying that, you know, we've previewed Uruguay, and they're a really confident team. The way their captain speaks, they have a lot of belief, which is awesome to see. I think you know, they back themselves, and we've prepared accordingly. And like Fiki said, there's again been awesome edge at training this week to make sure we perform. I think, you know, on the back of last week, that's all we want to do is front up and get the little things right. And
Offer, obviously the set piece was exceptional last week. I think you guys won 6 scrums against Italy. How do you go about trying to maintain that or get close to that level?
Yeah, Fiki has touched on it slightly, also Cody, but I think it's related to that question. For as long as I've been playing, one of the toughest challenges of the week is preparing for a team that you know that will be easy to overcome. And when that happens, you tend to leave stones unturned. You know, you take it easy on some areas, but for as long as I've been in this environment, it's about our standards. And that's what's important to us. And no matter who we play, our intention and our focus is to go out there and play to our standard and, you know, have a performance that we can be proud of. And then it's no different from this week, last week, and previous weeks as we raise our standards and try to be better. Doesn't matter who we play. And obviously that's an area that we've been working on, and it's great to see that it's heading towards the right directions, and we're going to use this week wisely as well to prepare for whatever happens in the future. As Vicky said, we've had a good week training, It's always competitive at training, and we have good people that in our circle that are willing to help. Doesn't matter who's got the opportunity to go out there and represent us. We all all help out and make each other better, I suppose.
Thank you. I have the next one at the front and the second one at the back.
I will ask in Spanish, so if you can
Yeah.
get
So
the
if you just
translation.
put one earphone in. Yeah.
A cualquiera de los tres que quiera responder, una pelea, un argumento que han tenido los equipos Tier 2, Tier 2 en este torneo ha sido reclamar más competencia como esta, como con equipos de primer nivel mundial. ¿Qué opinan ustedes sobre su competencia, sobre la posibilidad de tener este tipo de partidos, ya sea contra Uruguay, contra Portugal, contra Rumania, fuera de la Copa del Mundo? ¿Qué es lo que están reclamando esos equipos, poder jugar durante el periodo entre Copas del Mundo para no enfrentarse de pronto al nivel de competencia directamente en el Mundial? Muchas gracias.
Yeah, I think that it's great that Tier 2 teams want to play Tier 1. You know, I think 10 years ago there might have been a bit of fear of doing that, or they weren't prepared for it. But I think now that there's actually the want, I think it's exciting for rugby. I think, you know, as a game, how far we can take the game, who knows, on a global level. And I suppose it comes down to logistics and for players would be one thing that comes to my head, but I don't want to get into too many, things around that. But and games, where do you fit it in around other tournaments and competitions? So I think a lot of those questions are for guys that get paid a hell of a lot more money than we do, and who probably run the game. But for me, it's exciting that anything positive for the game of rugby is great, and seeing Uruguay and Chile and Portugal and how they've prepared themselves for this tournament, not to mention the other ones, has been outstanding, and loved seeing all the teams play.
Thanks, Greg. At the back there.
Hey, Greg, when it came to the reviewing Uruguay ahead of this match, how much time did you spend on looking at that game that they played against France earlier, where we, saw them actually push France for a decent part of that game?
Yeah, we actually, as a team, were sitting watching that game at it, because obviously we're curious to see how they go, and like I just said, that was part of what got us excited, and probably just made us go, we can't get complacent in this tournament about anyone we play. So we looked at that. We saw, he talked about it the other day, about how many turnovers they get in breakdowns, how physical they were, and even some of their backs, quite electric too. So, we've done our homework. We have to. And the beauty about this tournament is we've been able to watch a few games coming into this one.
Thanks, yeah.
One for Cody. Since the opening game against France, Cody, does it feel like to you this team has been able to take some shifts, go up some levels? We've had only 2 games to see for ourselves, but obviously you've had all the training sessions and so forth. Are you confident that you've been able to go up the required levels and are ready, I guess, to enter the business end of this competition?
Simple answer, yes. I think we've had after France, we reviewed that game. There were opportunities. We did let ourselves down at times in that game, and I think since then, we've had, the 2 games. We had that bye week, and we really looked at ourselves and what areas we can be better at. Just the way that teams have been playing. Just little things within our game, I think, is working on that has really helped us. I think after last week, you know, that we're not going to get another game like that in terms of score. We prepared really well for Italy, and the boys were right on. I think leading into the back end of this competition, it's obvious playoff footy's not going to be like that. But I'm confident to say that we're trending in the right direction, and there's good things in our game that we're working on to be able to front up. All going well, we get a chance.
And just for you, Offa, we've all enjoyed watching you play a lot of rugby at this World Cup, especially with Ethan being suspended. You've had a reasonable workload. How are you feeling, and how are you feeling about your game? Is it where you want to be, or do you feel you've still got another level to go to individually?
Yeah, obviously not the circumstances for Ethan, but yeah, I've taken my opportunities of two hands, and yeah, I'm happy with where I am at the moment, but there's always another level to reach, and there's always things to improve, and yeah, I've had a good week preparing for this game, and yeah, looking forward to tomorrow night.
Cody, another 2 tries for Dane last week. Does he let you know about that a lot? And could you talk a little bit about his influence on the squad in general?
He lets Sam Sonny know about his tries. Him and Sonny have a bit of banter between each other, but no, he's a humble man. Yeah, he come on and scored a couple, which is awesome to see. He's pretty good at getting over the chalk, so his influence, his leadership, his standards that he demands and drives in the team is like world class. It's exactly what we need. We talk about All Black standards, and he's a man that lives them. So, yeah, his role is vital for this team, and I think he's really put his hand up. He's been performing well, which means there's great competition in the hooker role. So it's always good to see what he calls an old bugger going well at his age.
Thank you. And I know you don't want to get any further ahead than this match, but with Ireland playing Scotland on Saturday, is it a team, Ireland, that you've just started to, Ian was saying, you know, you've got one eye on making sure you're ready for the next stage. Is it something you've started to think about in moments on your own?
Oh, you have brief moments where you think about a quarter-final and what that might look like, but I think the great thing about this team and this tournament is that we've focused on each week as it's come, and that's been the way it's been this week. You know, we can't look past Uruguay, and yeah, to be honest, if we get the chance to, we go to a quarter-final, I don't really care who we play. It's a quarter-final, you got to front up no matter what, and prepare accordingly. So, yeah, whatever that looks like, I'm looking forward to the challenge. All going well.
Great, just here.
Greg, yesterday I was at the airport, at the arrivals terminal, and there was this massive guy with a Stade Toulousain bag. So I just wanted to check if Jerome Kaino has paid a visit to the camp. Or if not, he will.
Yeah, no, Jerome's unavailable for squad selection, and yes, he is floating around. He is doing some stuff with New Zealand Rugby, I think, but it's great to see him. He is a big man, still in good shape, probably could still play, like Victor, but that's great having those guys around. Yep.
We've got time for one more. Any final question? In which case, we'll wrap up. Thank you very much, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Cheers, guys. Great job. Yeah.